Live life carefree, looking out for better days. Just call it a raise, I'm hoping to rise. Love on my black sisters, let's collab, not collide. While our people provide, light skin, dark skin, but we all on the same side. Come together on the same time, dark and lovely. Yeah, I love mine, beautiful we are, huh? Queens we are, I must admit, and we will go far. Don't ever forget, yeah, I must admit, black queens we are.
Dark and lovely I am, the color of beautiful, beautiful, wonderful it made, the color of beautiful, beautiful, God made me beautiful, yeah, I am so beautiful.
It is the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. Once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. Muhammad Ali. I am in charge of my life. I am improving my life by eliminating the drama within it. I let go of everything and everyone that impedes my progress in life. I do not entertain negative thoughts, feelings, or conversations. I choose to be happy today. I am continually aligned with my higher purpose. I am strong.
Waiting for. We've been hearing from so many wonderful women all day, and now, and well, we did have Mr. Jones was up earlier, so I got to make sure Dr. Jones was up earlier, so we did hear from him, but we're going to get ready to hear from him again on the beauty of women of color, the men's panel. So what we've all been waiting for, we're going to have Dr. Lafayette Jones. We're going to have Mr. Frederick Ramirez. We're going to have Neil, the barber, Shakri, and Mr. Robin Williams Sr. to come and speak to us about the beauty of women of color. And facilitating this panel is none other than Dr. Jaffe and Dr. Moore. Take it away.
I want to just thank all the men on the panel today. I've been waiting for this all day long. And I want to give a special shout out to Mil Shakri. Mil is in Dubai, the time difference, and he stayed up. Wow. He's hanging in there with us today. Met Mil, he's been with International Shades of Beauty for 3 years now. He was with us in Dubai at the launch. Talented barber, young man. Follow him on Instagram, see the work that he's doing. He has products and everything out there. And so I just want to say thank you so much. Lots of love to you and your wife and children, the family. Can't wait to see you in 2023. We're coming back. So anyway, let's get into today. These questions. Come on, Dr. Karen, you want to start out?
You're on mute.
So we certainly,
there you go.
Yeah, my mic. Thank you all so much for being here, gentlemen. We appreciate you so much. So let's start by talking about the beauty of women of color and what for you is such a is such an idea about this beauty of women of color. What is it for you that you would speak about the beauty of women of color?
Let's start
Let's
with you,
start with
Mr.
Robin
Jones.
Williams.
Oh, Robin. Okay.
Oh,
Talk about your
okay, yeah.
beautiful wife. How about that?
First of all, I'd like to say hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hear you
good.
loud and clear.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, ladies. First of all, I'd just like to thank the international women. I get it mixed up. The international, I am the color beautiful,
There you go.
for having me. And I'm so happy and proud of my wife and to Dr. Robin Jabi. I appreciate y'all both. You worked so hard and tirelessly to get this done, and it has come to fruition. And I think it's going to go even further. So the question is, how do I feel? What's the question again?
About women of color. What would you say about the beauty of women of color? What is it for you that is about our beauty?
One thing, ladies, you are queens. That's the first thing. The beauty of all shades. You're strong women. You're talented. And my take on that is that there's nothing that you can't do because of your heritage and to love yourself and feel proud of yourself. That's what I get out of it.
Mhm. Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm cutting it short because I know we're pressed for time, but
Thank you. I want to thank you so much, Robin. I love that response. So you said the right things. You know, we have other women. You said the right thing. And you got to see
yeah, my wife,
You have to see Dr. Karen in a few. So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to Mill. I want that question to be answered by Mill as well. One of the things that I love about him, one of many things, is he honors his wife. If you follow him in social media, he is always posting positive comments and positive just everything about his wife and to his wife. So go ahead, Mill, answer the question.
First of all, thank you for having me, Dr. Jabi. That intro was far too kind. I'm humbled by that. I'm humbled by being a part of this with the gentlemen and the beautiful ladies here, all my women of color, my people of color, beautiful
Yeah.
souls. I caught the tail end of the last session, and I was just, you know, I love the fact that everybody was meditating, and you know, we're on the same frequency. So that's a beautiful thing. So to segue into that, I love the familiarity that I have with women of color. I see, so in some women, I see my auntie, I see my grandmother, I see my mom, I see the resilience. And like Brother William said, the different shades of melanin, you know, we come in all different shades, different experiences,
Yes, sir.
different cultures, different accents,
Yes.
different languages.
Yeah.
You know, you can go anywhere in the world and you will see a Black person of that culture.
Yes.
And then when you're talking about the women, the first teacher of the child, you know, I really praise and I love the divine feminine. You know, women are the first teachers of the child. They have us men.
Yeah.
And so as far as putting stuff on the internet about my wife, I better, because she'll show the strength, you know.
Right. There you go.
So that's all I have to say about that, ladies and gentlemen. You know, just to cut it short, like Brother William said, because I don't want to. I can go on and on for days, but it's the familiarity for me. It's the skin tones, the accents, the different cultures, the resilience, and the brilliance, and them giving birth to nations, generation after generation. That's what does it for me.
Awesome.
Original woman, and the original woman, might I add.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Mr. Jones, what do you have to say?
Well, as usual, you know, I have a lot to say. Well, I want to say amen to our brother in Dubai and to Brother Williams. And I want to say a special, and I say to what they say, ditto. You're right on it, brothers. Part of the challenge we have is that, and it's not a challenge, we have more women today than men, but we appreciate you giving us an opportunity to have a voice. I must say, I love Black women. My mother was a Black woman, and my grandmother was a Black woman, and my grandmother was a blind lady that raised 7 daughters on the Chattahoochee River in Nashville, Tennessee. And she was a blind woman, and her family was a sharecropper. And one of my aunts was a cosmetologist, and I went to Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. When I got there, I remember calling my mother and saying, "I've never seen so many pretty Black women in my life." And when they asked who was the president, all of them stood up and they asked who was valedictorian, and on and on and on. So I went to school to undergraduate to predominantly to an African-American, historically Black college university that was loaded with Black women. And my mentors, both in business and in life, have been Black women, and I've had the great opportunity to know many of, and they're all women are great, many of the great women of the world. Maya Angelou, who lived in here in this city, where I live in Newark on a first name basis. The list goes on and on. But I'm just thankful. And I have 3 daughters who are ladies. And one lives in LA and has her own business. Another lives in Dallas and is retired from the airline business. And another young one, the youngest one, lives in Atlanta, and she just had a new baby boy, she and her husband. So I'm a great admirer of women. And I actually believe this. God knows if it wasn't for y'all, we'd be in bad shape, because Black women are the saviors of our community. No doubt about it.
That's right. You're right. You're right.
Firsthand. I mean, this is a testimony for a long time. And this didn't just start yesterday. Black women have been our savior and our leaders for a long since we've been here. And I'm very much appreciative of those contributions. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I think you did. You answered it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. Right, that's right. That's that wisdom. That's that wisdom.
So, what would you say to our youth, our young Black women that are coming up, who have so many different influences that some of us sometimes feel that they're kind of going the wrong way or following the wrong influence when it comes to presenting themselves as beautiful Black women and having that idea? I mean, some of us, I guess I have a certain idea of how we should conduct ourselves and about, showing our dignity and our excellence. So what would you say to young women who are coming up and about how they should project themselves and be seen by men as well as by the rest of society? What would you say? We could start with Mill.
Okay. Good question. Excellent question.
Yeah.
I have a daughter as well. She's 12. And like you said, influences. And with the influences come agendas. There's an agenda. There has been for as long as I can remember, and as long as I've been taught by beautiful, strong women in the community, as far as in the home and mentor programs that I've, so the agenda is basically disconnecting themselves from their higher selves. And that's all across the board. But let's deal with the women first. With the 12-year-old daughter, for instance, I have to deal with the influence of the internet.
Yes.
All right. So they always pushing this beta sex kitten image. You have to be a certain way, or they're pushing just separatism. Independence does not necessarily mean you cannot build the community. That has nothing to do. One, it's like divisive. It's pitting themselves against themselves and themselves against the the potential men in the community, right? And they're attacking the children at such a young age. And I use the word attacking very strongly because that's what it is. If you go and look at the majority of the images that are being portrayed, it's an agenda. And I believe having discussions like this, the jewels that I take from it, I continue to give to them, and then show her a better way, introduce her, have her around other females who are doing what she wants to do, or maybe doing what she aspires to do. And kids are show me type people. They, you know, my dad used to say, what you do speaks so loud, I can hardly hear what you're saying. And so that's what kids look at it like, you know, and it's like, they want to see if they, unfortunately, they don't, you know, auntie or grandma or mommy should display themselves in a way how they want the kids to display themselves. And it's a conscious effort. And you know, everybody's not perfect, but it's a conscious effort to battle the influence and explain to them what it is that's being attacked. Their subconscious mind is being attacked to act and be a certain way other than the queens that they are. And that's just what it is, y'all. So yeah, and I'm gonna cut that one short because I can go on and on.
Robin?
Yeah, I think, and I could say, I have two daughters, and one is 31 and the other one is 21. One of my daughters are a real light tone queen, and the other daughter is a darker complexion queen. And I try to tell them and let them know both that, you know, they're beautiful in every way. To say that, I think the young ladies today, and my man was talking about it, excuse me if I don't have your name right, that, you know, the internet, but it seems like the young women today want to be seen. They need to have the likes. So whatever it takes to get a like, you know, they'll do. I don't mind you dancing, and you know, to me, you don't have to. You know, everybody's doing it. Everybody's twerking now to show, you know, their bodies or whatever. And some do it in fun. Some do it because they're either bored or they had nothing else to do. They want to make a video. I understand that, you know, but I think too, that doesn't just portray what women need to get attention or to get noticed. A man notices you if you are successful, working, keeping yourself together. A man notices you just as much as you would, you know, shaking your hand. You know, of course, we're going to notice that because we're men.
Right.
And, you know, that's automatic. You know what I'm saying? I tell my wife, you know, I said, you know why I married you? And she said, well, I said, because your brains. So, and then she gets upset. And see, if I had said her body, then she said, well, yeah, I ain't got no brains. So you can't win. You know what I'm saying? You can't win. And good look, you know, so, but I think that the young ladies today, they need to realize that they are special in every way you can conduct yourself. And if you're looking at a young lady, and I'm gonna say this, if a woman is looking for a man, or let the man look for you, you know, all you have to do is keep yourself the way you're supposed to be. You know, a lady, you know, I heard earlier about, you know, a guy actually was approaching Dr. Renee about the at the gas station, and he said sexy, you know, and a lot of times, you know, some women like that. They sexy, you know, they like that. Some don't, but it all depends. He caught the, you know, the wrong person at the time. But then, you know, he was trying to say something to you nice. Now, maybe he might have agenda if he had tried to say, well, after that, you know, but can I get your number or whatever, or did it in a different way. But to say that again, and I'll get off. And, you know, I think women don't have to, the young ladies don't have to show them, have to put themselves out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B, and stuff like that. If you look at their history, what they went through, they were dancers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They had to, to get noticed. And then of course they had skills in rapping and everything and hip hop and all that. So, but before they could do that, they had to make that change and stuff like that. So again, you don't always have to gyrate your body or put on Instagram and being an Instagram model. That's what they're saying. That I didn't know that. Some girls like to be Instagram models, so you just see them and their bodies and all that stuff. But they don't always have to do that. You have a good body. We notice. We need more from the table than just the gyrating. That only's gonna last anyway. That only gonna last for a half an hour maybe. But anyway, by then, I need a conversation. You know what I'm saying? I need for you to be by my side when things go down. I can come to you and so I'll stop there.
Well, I'd like to chime in on that question that you asked, which is a good one, Dr. Moore. Adam said to Eve, "Try it, you like it," and here we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what that means is that since the beginning of time, we've all been men and women, and many of us are attracted to each other. That's just life. That's the way it is. Now, how you go about it is a whole nother process, as Dr. William was saying. This is the truth. So one of the reasons that I applaud myself for getting smarter every day is because I made all the mistakes. I made all the mistakes. But I learned from a lot of those mistakes, hopefully be a better person, a better husband, a better father. And although I had the privilege of being raised in a two-family household where my father was absolutely the king and my mother was absolutely the queen, I learned as time went on. We all are attracted by excesses of all kinds and have all been all of our lives. The question is, did you survive it? I can answer and say yes, equivocally, I survived it. I'm now married to a fabulous woman for 37 years, who was my friend for 10 before, for 8 before I ever said a word, because she said to me, "Ain't like that over here, let's get that kind of straightened out." So she knew me and I knew me, and she was kind of explaining to me how it is over here. And I respected her for that. And she's a woman who is a gorgeous woman, well-educated, got an MBA from Kellogg School of Business in 1971, and who is a mother of my youngest daughter and a great coach. Part of being a great woman is having good coaches. And your coach can be male and female. And if you got 2 coaches in the same household, your chances of surviving are pretty good. But now, I'm not going to knock one coach families because they get along and do pretty well too. So I want to remind you of Adam and Eve. The original folks got this started. We're not any worse or any better than that. And I want to remind you, sometimes when I'm critical of some of our young people, and I am, I used to be crazy and wild. Used to be. only once in a while now, But the point is, we all made a lot of mistakes.
Right.
And thank Lord we survived them. I think it was so many of my friends in all walks of life, so talented, men and women, who didn't make it this far. People always say, "Well, I'm young." Well, I'm glad, and I hope that you will continue to live. But a lot of people didn't get past young.
Yeah.
As a person almost 80, I know that for certain. So I thank God for the women in my life, and also for the men in my life. And by the way, Dr. Moore, colorism, at least as I understand it, is about, it affects Black men too.
It does.
It really, really
It
does. And so, although two of us are bald-headed on here, yeah, we've had our hair issues too. You understand? Because we
Nothing wrong with that, brothers.
no,
I tried. I still got a little bit, but
no, I had one of those big naturals out to your shoulders not so long ago. And the problem would be that it would break, and it had a mind of its own. And then it went another way. And then I relaxed it, and then I braided it, and I had a big beard. It was a raggedy beard, but I tried to grow one. So we've all gone through this whole issue of our hair and our skin. We care about ourselves too. At almost 80, I'm going to the gym every day.
Wow.
Oh, that's
You know
blessing.
why?
It's blessing.
Because these bones won't work if I don't.
Mm.
You're right. You're
Wow.
right.
Well, Mr. Jones, speaking of hair, nice segue into the question that I want to know, and I'm sure the women who were in the room and watching on, because we're streaming, broadcasting on every platform imaginable right now, so we're everywhere. But anyway, this thing with hair, with women of color and dealing with men. Some men don't like women to wear wigs or weaves or braids, no protective style. They just want them natural, no makeup. Others don't care. So what do you have to speak to the whole vibe?
Can I speak to that? Can I speak to that first?
Yeah.
Let me say this.
Let's just jump right in.
Everybody wants to shoot me when I say something, but I'm fearless. You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The first thing we as Black men have to learn: don't be saying anything about sisters' hair.
Right.
Keep your mouth off of
Right.
it.
Keep your
You
exactly.
understand? You look at.
Hold
Don't-
on, can I get
Mr.
do
Jones.
something
not-
right away?
Do not be crossing the line about saying anything about a sister's
Sit.
hair. When my
She
wife
trying to hem
comes
you up.
home,
She
my
trying to
wife
hem you up. That's
comes
what
home, and she from the hairdresser, she says, "How you like it? Oh, it looks great." You understand? Now, you know why it looks great? Because it looks great. You understand? I know not to put my mouth over there.
Thank you,
If
Mr.
you
Jones.
want to get in trouble, as we witnessed recently, without going into all that detail, sisters and their hair is untouchable.
Untouchable.
It is a taboo subject. And you just keep your mouth over there on your side of the equation and look and smile and leave it alone. I've been in the beauty business a long time, and I hear all kinds of opinions about she's got a wig, she's got a wig, look, these sisters are going to have what they want and what they like, and you might as well just sit back in your chair and smile and be happy about it, period.
Thank you.
That's my nickel. If you want to get in trouble,
Go home
as
on
we
that.
know, say something about a sister's hair. Keep your mouth shut.
Yo.
Go on, Mr. Jones. That's my mentor.
Jones,
That's
Mr.
Jones. Go on, Mr. Jones. Mill, would you like to weigh
That
in?
was
And then
good.
we'll have Robin's
No.
perspective. Go ahead, Mill. What you have to say?
No.
First of all, I appreciate all the jewels that you're giving, Brother Jones. I appreciate you, man. Good to virtually meet you and everybody.
Yes. You too.
I Miss Brother Jones, I've learned that too. I've never had my wife, from personal experience, she never came at me away, but I could tell, like you said, if I said something and I was a little too honest, she might be like, hey, but you know what I noticed? As long as if she feels good in the style, if she feels good in the style, she has this certain, what do y'all call it? Black girl magic or whatever, she has a certain thing that she knows it feels good. And then I want her to feel good. So then it looks good to me because her energy makes it look good along with the style. And like you said, if it's something, now I might have a preference.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Sure. I didn't say you wouldn't have no preference.
But I work, like you said, listen, Brother Jones, from now on, I will take your advice and it will make my life. I know. So yeah, but my answer is, as long as she feels good in the style, I feel good because she's comfortable with it. Because I empathize if she has a certain style and she's not really feeling it. and then it makes her look, you know, I don't want you to feel that way. I want you to be comfortable in your skin. So yeah, if you like it, I love it, literally.
There you go. And one more thing I say this, having been in business a long time, our women have a hard time with their hair. You understand? They work hard over it. Their identity is wrapped up in it. You understand?
Yes.
And so it is like a raw nerve for them. And so you have to respect the amount of time they spend in the salon chair or whoever or however they're getting it done. You have to respect that investment, okay? And when you step over that red line and touch that, that's a raw nerve.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right. That's right, Mr. Jones. Tell him, Robin, what do you have to say?
Robin, don't do it. See, you trying to set me up. I know what you're trying to do. But I agree. But I'm a little different because I tell my wife, she knows how she fixes her hair, her own hair. She's gone to the beauty shop before. But even though she might have wear wigs and whatever, you know, I try to compliment her, and I say to her in my little sexy way, you know, hey, you need to wear that piece of hair to bed, so we can.
There you go.
Okay, Boo Boo, back it up. Back it up, Boo.
Speak the truth. Speak the truth.
Back it up.
You know,
That's it.
Okay,
Don't be
now back
scared,
it up.
Robin.
no, I'm not
Yeah.
scared, sir. I know she know I ain't scared, but I be respectful. You know, I gotta be.
That's right.
Well,
There
being
you go.
respectful.
That's right.
That's right.
Respectful.
Yeah, you too. And be a little free, you're right? Because you know, got to keep a happy wife. You know that. But
Hey.
my thing is that if it makes her happy, what makes her happy, and Doctor, you said it too. What makes her happy with her hair, then that's fine. And like I said, I tried to, you know, turn it around and say, hey, you know, let's come on and, you know, bring that to me. You know, forget them Zoom. When you finish them Zooms, you need to come to me with that same hair. Everything you got on now, everything you got on now, you need to come, you know, come in this bedroom. So
You're gonna make me start crying.
Robin,
you know,
Robin, you better quit while you're ahead. Dr. Karen's over there doing gestures. You better watch out, Robin.
I can't see it.
Reeling you in.
Here, she's saying,
all right, because she knows I'm talking.
You're
She's trying to get
trouble.
time. I know.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, no. I don't think I'm in trouble. I think she just wants me to.
But y'all
come
shouldn't
down.
y'all shouldn't have invited us because we'll tell you the truth.
That's right. Exactly.
That's what we want, the truth. That's why you are all here. We want the truth. That's why we're asking. We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that was so true, Mr. Jones, what you said. And I think that the sisters appreciate that. And I think that without really talking a whole lot about what happened this past Sunday, what our hair is, it's a very personal thing. for women.
Exactly.
It's very, very personal. And, you know, even when we have to deal with, Tiffany gave such great information earlier, even when we have to start dealing with losing our hair,
That's
and
right.
dealing with the things that happen with our hair, it's a very personal thing for, I know for sure for Black women. It's so much of how we're seen. It's so much of how we're perceived. Our hair it's a big thing. I remember Viola Davis when she was on one of the shows and she said, we could talk all day about Black women and their hair and the things that we go through and what it means for us and our hair. And it's a very, very personal thing. And I so appreciate you saying that, because I think that relationships will be better off by hearing those words you said, that, you know, you just don't talk to a Black woman about her hair. Don't touch the hair. Don't do
That's right.
Wait a minute. You can touch it.
Well,
I didn't say you couldn't touch it.
Well, I'm saying, you know, people like to touch other people like to touch our hair.
I
That's
agree.
what
See,
I was
I'm
referring
with Brother William about that. That looks good, you know.
That's what I'm saying. They always talk about that. That's another story.
Don't touch my hair.
Yeah, don't touch my hair. Just leave it there.
Don't touch my hair.
All that.
Don't touch my hair.
But Dr. Karen is correct. I can't tell you how many times I've had people from other cultures come up. Is that your hair? And they want to touch the hair, or even men trying to determine whether or not this is my hair, because Black women can't have certain kind of hair. You just can't. So pulling, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. Don't pull our hair from the end tip. You pull it, it hurts when it's short. It's gonna hurt.
It hurts when it's not short
Don't pull the
sometimes, too.
hair. Don't you don't have to
No,
pull the
no
hair.
pulling. I ain't pulling.
And so if you ask a woman of color whether or not she's wearing a wig or not, if you ask her, is that her hair? She could say yes, she paid for it. It's hers. She bought it.
There you go. Hello.
Okay.
That's right.
Speaking of the subject of Black women's beauty and their hair and all of those things, for major client ones, my company did a study of the number of books written about Black beauty. Google it, you would be amazed. And they've been proliferating in the last 5 years. You probably all don't know that I'm an author and I write magazine columns as a hobby, etc. And so I interview a lot of people, and a lot of them are authors. And since the internet has come, they've been in different forms of books. There've been more and more and more literature produced about us and our hair and beauty.
Yeah.
Awesome. I would like to know some of that information. If you could drop it in the chat, some literature that you think would be helpful with that. I'd appreciate that.
Done.
Brother Mill, I have to applaud you, man. DeVry. Gee,
Well,
I was there a few years back, man. I was only there for a layover because I was going to Indonesia. I just wanted to say, but God bless you, brother, for holding on.
oh, thank you, man.
It's late there. We
it's late.
appreciate you.
Yeah, they're 8 hours ahead of us. They're 8 hours ahead. of us.
Yeah.
Right.
It's okay. I would be up regardless. So it's like,
Okay.
why not soak up all of this greatness?
Exactly. It's
Thank
been
you.
great. It's fun.
Yes. We really do appreciate you being on it. So I don't know, Dr. Robin, where do you want to go from here? Do you want to take questions now, or do you have another question?
I could sit here and ask questions all day, and we're getting in our in our private chat that this is funny. They're enjoying this conversation and loving the conversation. I'm getting text messages. They said we should take the show on the road.
Yeah, I think you should.
Hey, maybe
you
we can do a podcast or something. You never
Yeah.
know. You never know
That's
what's going
right.
to
Never know.
happen in
Absolutely.
places and spaces like this,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
It is so
So
important
I
to
want to
hear
give
from the men.
people.
It
I'm
is very
sorry?
important to hear from the
It
men.
is. It really is. It really is.
Mhm.
And so I think, we can sit here. I don't want to hog up all the time. We have women in the room who may have questions that they've been dying to ask these wonderful, phenomenal men with us today. So let's just open the room up for questions. Let's do that. Let's do
Thank
that.
you. Yes.
All right,
Thank
ladies,
you.
here's your opportunity.
Ask,
wanna
because if you don't, we will.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
you
sure.
can put it in the chat or use your reactions or raise your hand. We'll call on you or ask your questions.
Hello, Miss Desi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
This is
Okay, so
great.
Tisha has a question. As all of you are married, do you feel the need to be protective of your wives and their hair struggle?
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. In protective, obviously, if someone's trying to bully her over her hair, of course I'll be protective in that way. But
Yeah.
like Brother Jones said, be protective of her feelings.
Mhm.
That's what it is. Be sensitive about it. Be protective of how, like Brother Jones said, how you say it, what you say, how you approach it, everything that would be supportive. So support is a form of protection. So that's how I would look at it.
And
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you mean when you say protective, Tisha, because if we just talk for just a second, we're not going to dwell on what happened, but
Oh,
protective
yeah.
doesn't mean violent.
That's
I'm
right.
just saying.
What?
It
If it
doesn't
has
mean
to
violent.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying. We want to be clear. We want to be clear about what we mean by
Right.
protective.
Right.
I'm not sure
Dr.
what
Moore.
you meant by protective, but
Right.
Dr. Moore, can we argue with you?
I don't want to argue with you, Doc.
When I say argue, I mean, can we discuss that as a point?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Absolutely, Mr. Jones, Dr. Jones, absolutely.
go
Okay.
ahead, Dr. Jones, you got it.
Dr.
Give
Jones,
us the
come
wisdom.
through.
Give us the wisdom.
Now
Come through.
pull out your gun and shoot me before I say this stuff. You ready?
Yes, sir.
That's who we are. We protectors of our family. That's our role. Now,
That's our
I'm not
role.
making any comments about what anybody else does where they do it. I'm telling you about what's over here, right over here
Mhm.
where I live. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In my space, that's who men are. We are hunters and protectors. Now you can say, and I'm not justifying what anybody else has done. I'm just telling you what you're going to get if you come over here. And I'm almost 80 and saying that. You understand? That's how I feel about it. When I went to a store to buy something, and I won't even say who it was. My wife, and this guy's disrespecting my wife. Hey man, you better back off this. You understand? My wife had to calm me down. You understand? Because she could see me getting riled up. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'll just say me. I'm the
Okay.
protector in this household.
I'm with you.
That's how he
I'm
rolls.
with- yeah,
brother.
that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And a lot
That's
of
all right.
Black men, maybe all men, feel that way. Now, I'm not saying violence is right at all.
Mhm.
I'm just telling you how it is over here. And every brother in this conversation has his how it is over here, how they got it, okay?
Right.
How they arrange it. That's expected of me in my household.
Right.
Right.
We have always not had the privilege of being able to protect our women.
Right.
Mhm.
It's called
Yeah.
slavery,
Mhm.
if you can imagine. I get
Yeah.
mad about it when I think about it. You understand? It riles me up when I think about the privileges that people took with our women, because if we resisted, they'd kill us. Some of us did get killed.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Some of us
true.
didn't get killed.
That's true.
But this whole sin of slavery stains our society
Mhm.
and even us and everything around it. So there are a lot of sensitivities around. So Dr. Karen, I'm not saying, I understand we don't go around punching people in the mouth, you know? It ain't kind of like that. But if you come over here
We are so clear, Mr. Jones.
and you
Right.
say something about Sister Jones, I got something to say for you, to
Yeah.
you.
I hear you, Dr.
Definitely.
Jones.
Yeah.
I hear you.
He didn't.
That's
He,
just-
Yeah.
look, he told
That's
us he
right.
goes to the gym every day. He works out every day.
Right.
Oh, I wouldn't mess with
Don't
Dr.
try
Jones.
Miss Jones. Don't try Miss
I
Jones.
would
No,
not
I'm
mess
not
with
getting,
Dr.
I
Jones.
tell you, I'm not getting any stronger, but my mind is getting stronger. I'm
Exactly.
going to the gym to keep these bones working and you know, and to make it come out right. But you know, the personal protection of our household is a personal thing. Some people
Yeah.
see it differently. I just got a line. Don't cross it. Don't say nothing smart. Don't be like that, because we ain't gonna permit that over here.
Right.
You're gonna hear from me if you do. You
That's
know,
All
just-
right.
and that's why you see a lot of older guys with a gun in their pocket. Now don't get crazy now. You know, some of the older brothers got a gun. Now these
Yeah,
two
I know.
brothers ain't gonna say nothing. You understand? They gonna be quiet because they ain't got no gun.
Well, I definitely
Not-
believe in the right to bear arms, sir.
Yeah,
Wow.
okay. But so these are
Oh.
things you don't know about us. A lot of us got our own gun, you know, where you can't see it. You understand? You cross this line, we got something for you. You understand? Now it may be
All
against the
right.
law.
So-
They may not like it, but that's my nickel's worth of it.
All right.
I'm trying to tell you all
What
the
a
truth.
great, healthy conversation. Tisha did clarify when she asked about protective. She explained what she meant. And she says a lot of mother-in-laws and family members make comments about hair. People are critical. So if a family member says something about your wife's hair that could be hurtful to her, are you protective? Do you defend her honor?
Mr. Jones said, don't come over here.
So don't come over here. That is so,
Mr.
so
Jones was
Robin
clear.
or Mel.
Dr.
Right.
Jones
Mr.
was
Jones was
clear.
clear.
Don't come over here.
He was clear.
But
You don't even have to
yeah,
respond.
But I
doesn't-
wasn't always so diplomatic. I learned, you know,
Mm,
people will tell you, mind your own business. You understand? Ain't got nothing to do with you. You understand?
right,
I have
right,
crossed the line in my life. I'm telling you, I got here because I made all the mistakes. I didn't say I grew up knowing this.
right.
Yep. And I'm in the
Yeah.
process of making mistakes now. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. I probably, but my thing is, I'm going to protect my wife, and I'll try to do it in a way that it wouldn't embarrass her.
Right.
Like for instance, even with Will Smith doing what he did, I would have handled it a little differently. But when you attack my lady, my rib, that has put up with me and has, when I was in the hospital and everything and all that, she was there. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're gonna have a problem. I don't care if it's I don't have my mother's past or my father's past, but it was my kids, it was my cousins, or just somebody, whatever. You're gonna have a problem because I know who's in my corner. So that's why I'm gonna be protective. You know, say something about her hair. A family member doing that. That's still. Then I'm gonna talk to you, or I'm going.
Yeah.
If you try to embarrass her, then I have to embarrass you in front of everybody else because you're not going to do it. But I'm not going to, do no hitting or anything like that. But I'm going to let you know that's not cool because my wife says I'm a Taurus, and so she doesn't like to see you in the bull because I'm really a nice guy and I'm very
Right.
quiet at times. I like to joke around, but when it comes to family, I'm very protective, like you said, with my kids, my wife first. You know what I'm saying? That's my queen. That's my lady. She suffered taking care of me, being when I was in the hospital and I was sick. She took care of me. She came every day. My kids didn't come every day. They called or whatever, but she came every day. You know what I'm saying? So just on that alone, I'm going to be very protective of my wife anyway.
Yeah.
And I
Definitely.
know my husband, and I've had to talk him down.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
had to talk him down.
Yeah.
Like, babe, we can't do that right now.
Right.
I've had to because I know him and I can tell when it's getting ready to go the other way.
Right.
I can tell. Tisha says another question: Black women have been fired from corporate positions and denied promotions and being hired because of the way they wear their natural hair. Legislation has recently been passed to allow us to wear our natural hair in the workplace without punishment. What are your thoughts? It's only been passed in the House. I think it still has to go to the Senate. The Crown
okay.
Act is my understanding. It still
It's
has to
the
go
Crown
to the
Act.
Senate.
It's the
Yeah, it
Crown
still
Act.
has to go to the Senate, but the House did pass it. Who knows what the Senate's going to do? But she asked, what are your thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, Ms. Davis asked a good question. And it also, this is Lafayette Jones, it also goes to Black men and their beards. The United States Army had a number of regulations about men shaving, insisting that we shave, not realizing that Black men have barreal folliculitis, which is ingrown hairs into our face. And that's why you see so many Black men who use a razor or use the wrong instrument, who have ingrown hairs, which is, I used to have it, is very painful. And so the whole issue of our beauty, hair and skin, has been a legislative issue forever. Someone trying to hire or fire us by how we look. See, a lot of this goes back to slavery when they were in charge, and doing all kinds of things to us that weren't moral or even reasonable in any way. And so some of these draconian laws about how you wear your hair or whether you should shave or not is really crossing the line, in my opinion. And why did it have to pass a law to keep people from discriminating against us about our hair is ridiculous. It's the same thing as not allowing you to go to the bathroom, which a lot of public rulings is the same thing. 50 years ago, you had to go, 60 years ago, you had to go around the back door to get a sandwich in terms of public accommodations. So this all is in that same arena, personal care, public freedoms. I just shudder to think that you couldn't go to the bathroom because it had a sign in it, not only for white people. Ridiculous, outrageous. Don't get me started now.
Yes, that's where you get Lafayette going.
It's all the same thing. So the young lady's question that she asked is a very good one. But at least I'm glad to see that someone's doing some thinking about not preventing us from having the same dignities as everybody else. They ain't got no rule about if you color your hair blonde, you can't have a job. That's another form of discrimination.
For sure.
Yeah, I
Anyone
agree.
else have any questions? I'm sorry, you want to say something?
No, I agree,
Okay.
Dr. Lafayette.
Anyone else have any questions while we have these men here? Ladies, you're quiet.
I guess we asked everything that they wanted to know.
Yes, we did.
Well, I got a question
Okay.
to the audience.
Okay.
How you like that?
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Jones?
Okay. Since you're asking us all the questions, what is it that you want from us or expect from us?
Mm.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
this is Dexy, and I just want to say that I have absolutely just thoroughly enjoyed this panel. And when you were talking, Dr.
Thank you.
Jones, everything that you were saying, I was saying that part, like the kids say that part right there. And I just appreciate all of you all being on this panel and everything that you're doing. I do have a quick question. What would you say? Because I'm raising young men. And so what would you say to these young men to be able to stand strong behind their moms and their beautiful women of color, and why that is so important for them?
It's a great question.
That is a great question.
It's a great question.
Go ahead, Dr. Lafayette. You can.
No, I'll go ahead. I don't want to dominate. I want to hear you all got.
Yeah, that's okay. We're learning a lot from you. Well, with me, you have to have if you don't have a father in your life to see how he treats his mother, then you're going to have a problem with a son that really, if it doesn't have a father figure. Now, I'm not to say everybody's like that. Because my parents were separate, they never got married, but my mother was a strong Black woman. So I think sometimes I was more scared of her than my father, but you need that respect. You have to have that respect for not only your mother, for your sister, and you learn that when you're in a young age. And I learned that to respect women. Now, I saw an incident when my father was married to somebody else, where there was a altercation, but that never disturbed me from going to still having respect or not hitting nobody. I love women, and that's that's just my nature. But and I think too, once you have somebody, my father always respected my mother. I could tell you, they were the best of friends, because they were. I had to go live with my father and my grandmother because my mother was traveling and overseas and everything. So for me to go to school, I had to live with them. But they had the respect for each other, and I think once the young men learn that and have that, because a lot what's happening now, a lot of the women are having children younger, and then, once they have them, they still want to go out, and, sometimes you can't go out like you used to, you still want to, do, but you have to learn how to raise that child. Grandma's not going to always be there all the time, and I think with that, young men have to see other men, how they treat their wives and their mothers, so that they can learn how to respect their mothers and women. Because if you get somebody that respects and loves their mother, you about almost 98% or maybe that he's going to have respect for you, and and then that's what you want. You want somebody to respect you.
I'll tell you a personal story. Y'all can't repeat this story. I'll just tell y'all on the world broadcast here. When I was about maybe 12 or 13, and I was always close to my mother and close to my father, but in different ways. He was a disciplinarian. My mother and father got in a one-time, what's the word, Brother Williams? Altercation.
Yes, sir.
Altercation. They really did.
Yeah.
He stepped over the line and she knocked him out of the chair. And she's a little bitty lady. Knocked this brother out of the chair. Now, I jumped up and said, hit him again. But that's how boys are.
Right. Right.
But I didn't put my mouth on it now because I knew better.
Right.
And so I looked and I was very angry about the fact that he crossed the line and she crossed it right with him. And I was very angry about that. My mother said to me, now, son, go on outside and don't come back till the street light comes on. It's about 2:00 in the afternoon. In the old days, they kept time, but the street light was on or not. You understand? Y'all don't know about that, but you come back when the street light is on.
About that.
Now, by the way, when she hit him, she put a cut on his head. And she's a little bitty lady. She's 100 pounds. And she hit him a lick that I said, wow, to myself. When I came back, the two of them were sitting in a chair kissing. And I said to myself, wow. Like she sent me out. She go on mind your own business, going down the street. You come back with a street light. So I sit outside until the street light came on. Because I had to go to the men's room at the time, but I had to sit outside till the light came back on. Now, what did I learn when I came back and I saw my sweetheart? Boys love their mother. Kissing this guy, hugging him and wiping his head. She actually loved him. She cared about him. And she had enough sense to say to me, now you get back and get out the way, because this ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't know about this. And you know what? I really didn't know about it. And I was puzzled for years how the two of them had got in this screaming match. She knocks him out of the chair and I come back 4 hours later and they kiss. What kind of people are these? I wondered what love was. But I learned a lot from that. And I learned as a young man, stay in my lane. Fathers and young men can be very competitive in a household.
Yes.
It's called the Oedipus complex. And the women in the house, this is deep psychology now. You ought to know I was a psychotherapist a long time ago, but I didn't tell you about that. I worked in a jail once, a long time ago. I've done a lot of things. But the point I'm making is that's deep psychology among family relationships. Mothers have to teach their sons their role and their place. He's the king in here, you're the junior king. Get it?
Yeah.
Now when that gets misaligned because of immaturity, lack of experience, those lines of communication can get crossed up and the kids get mixed up. One of the things I admire about my son-in-law, whose name is Patrick, he has a new son, 7.5 months old. He's deeply involved in this child's getting a bath at night, making sure that he's got this and that. So part of being a father, and this is not answering your question, this is my point of view on something. Part of being a father, you got to learn how to be a father. Now, somebody with some women are real good fathers, and some fathers are real good mothers. I just want to throw that in. Because they have those, some of them can play both roles. It's a hard role to play, the dual role. It's a hard role, hard role. But I admire my son-in-law and my daughter, the youngest ones. I admire all of them, but because they are deeply involved in the raising of this child. It takes that kind of energy in today's environment with all of these attractions. It's easy for our kids to get off track.
Easy.
Called technology.
That's the design. That's the design.
Yep. You're right, brother. You're right.
I don't know if that answers the question. I'm talking about something else, but
Yeah, me
I
too.
just-
I hope.
I heard the answer in that. Be there. Mhm.
yeah,
Yes. I heard you got it. You're right.
Did
right,
you have something you
exactly,
wanted to add,
exactly.
Mel? Mel, did you
No, I
have
was
something
just-
you wanted to add?
That was just it. Be there, and then
Be
be
there.
the example. And then know that you're going to go through things, and making sure that you know your role and be your role, and take that role and accept it and proudly, and let them know how important it is to be in that role when they have their families potentially.
Takes time to learn that.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Go ahead, Dr.
no,
Jones. I'm
I
sorry.
just say it takes time to learn that.
Takes time.
Before we wrap up, though, Dr. Jones, I'd like to answer your question about what we look for from men or what we expect from men. One of the things that I know has been very important, one of the things that I would have to sometimes say to my husband is that I need you to listen to me. I don't need you to fix the problem right now. I need you to listen to how I'm feeling about it. And I think that a lot of times when we as women are talking about an issue or something that's going on, you know, as our protectors and as our providers, you want to just get it fixed. But a lot of times what I need is for you to listen to me and to hear how I feel about it. Though you might not feel like I need to, and I'm not saying that, and I'm not typically a hysterical person, I'm not. But sometimes if I'm upset, or I just need you to listen to how it is I'm feeling. And I know that you most likely you can fix the situation, and men many times are about, well, let's just get it fixed, whatever it is. But I need you to listen to me and to how I feel about what's happening. And then you can go ahead and work your magic and fix it. But I need you to hear what I'm saying and how I feel. That's my thing.
Man, that sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. That's it.
Yeah, I'll say something. It is true. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Listenership is a difficult thing, and I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm just talking about me. I haven't always been a good listener. Now, one thing I just want to make is a general comment. Technology has taught us to respond like Instagram fast. Okay, that's one of the downsides of technology. My wife has taught me over some period of time a technique that really works for me. I used to be a hothead, really. I tell you what I thought right now, right now, okay, about how I felt about it. So we start employing this technique of, if you said or did something to me that I didn't particularly care for, 40 years ago, you would rue the day you saw me. I used to be Ming the Merciless. Don't tread on me. You understand? Mm-hmm. So she taught me to start writing my feelings down, and then putting them in a file or a drawer till tomorrow. Let's see how we feel about this tomorrow. And I must tell you that I think in 150% of the cases, I felt differently the next day than I did at that instant. And the other thing I learned was, to my very best of my ability, I'm not gonna let you make me mad. You're not renting my space for free. Okay? So when you step over into my lane and I let you rent my space for free, I lost control. So that's now, I'm not saying anything about anybody else. It has taken me a long time to learn that. So if you stick your mouth over here, I may look at you, but I got this thing called, know what that means? Zip them up, put it in the drawer. Okay. Now we look at it tomorrow. Then I might respond. But my experience has been that I probably was better off not acting on that at the moment. Because it wouldn't have been good. But that kind of control takes a lot of maturity and growth and depth. And so the way I say it to myself is, I'm not letting Dr. Joppy rep my space for free. I'm not pointing at Dr. Joppy, but I'm using her as an
Right.
example.
Right.
Now I might stand here
Yeah.
and look at you
Totally get
and
it.
not say a word, and you think I'm absolutely crazy. I'm gonna stare at you for 10 minutes and not say a word. Okay. But
You wanted to
different
say something else?
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
And you know, the different people react differently.
Just soaking it up.
That's
I
it.
mean,
That's it. You're
sometimes
right.
you gotta
This has
listen.
been amazing. We have to do this
Absorb, yeah.
again.
You know? It
If y'all
has
give
been.
us a if y'all
I
give
would
us a
love to.
chance, if y'all give us a chance with you like you are today, we actually have opinions.
Oh yeah. So
Oh,
we got a opinion,
Lord,
right?
I felt some
okay.
shade, Dr. Jones.
I felt some
Where
shade
Dr.
too.
Rob?
Felt
Where
some
Dr.
I
Rob?
felt
Yeah,
some
okay, there
shade.
you go.
I
Right.
definitely felt some shade.
I felt
Say it
some
again.
shade.
I didn't hear
That
you.
was
Say it
mild
again.
shade. That was mild shade though. That
No,
wasn't.
no, that was more than mild shade.
That's
That
just,
was mild.
I'm just throwing some love back at you. That's all. We actually
Shade
do
is love
have
sometimes.
opinions,
Right.
but nobody asks us our opinion all the time. So we just look at you, you know? And oftentimes you see these brothers, they don't be saying nothing. You say, how come that brother not talking? Well, it hasn't been conducive for him to be talking before. Okay. So he just keep his mouth shut and look at you. So I think sometimes, you know, I think the sisters, y'all the saviors of the world, but sometimes you know, you see brothers with steam coming out of their ears because they don't know what to say because they mad, you know, but they learn, keep it to themselves. And that's a real loss, in my opinion.
Some brothers can't handle that too.
Absolutely.
It is.
But some brothers can't handle that.
It is.
You know?
Absolutely. And so, you know, the whole idea of human interaction and love and all of that, powerful forces there, you know? Like I said, what did Adam say to, what did Eve say to Adam? Y'all know?
What do
You
say?
forgot?
Oh,
Try it, you like it.
try it, you like it. I know I do. I won't be weak. I won't be weak. What? I'll be like Adam. I know.
Hey, if we can't have some fun with this, what's life all about?
That's
I
right.
know.
Exactly.
Why not have a little fun?
Exactly. Exactly.
This has
I think we need to do this again, Dr.
Yes.
Karen. I don't think we have to wait till we have another event. Maybe we'll
I don't
have
think so either.
a special. Maybe we'll take a night and have a special and bring the men back on, and we'll
Yes.
just have a dialogue where we're not constricted or restricted by time.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because we can just keep going on and on. I just love it. I'm just so
I think that what you said before was potential for a blog. I think it's a blog. I think the blog is
a podcast.
That's what I mean. You know, I get them mixed up. You know, what you
I know
know.
what you meant though, Brother Jones.
Yeah.
I know what
You know, and the name of it is, what do y'all really think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We need more avenues where we can speak to each other and love and learn from each other. See, the deal is, and you all know this, but you don't know it yet. Nobody gets out of here alive. You understand?
It's only life.
Now, yeah. So when you get that through your head, nobody gets out of here alive.
Right.
The question becomes, what happened between the day you're born and the day you die? Did you waste your time? Did you use your energy as best you could? Did you forgive yourself for the things that you've not done well or could have done better? What did you do? What's between 0 day you're born and 0 day you die? That you will have both of them in your life. At a certain point in life, men in particular, you know, we think we're going to live forever and we're invincible. You understand? But we're not invincible.
Right. We was taught that. Yeah, you're invincible, but we're not.
We're not.
We're
Get
not.
sick and get sick and see how invincible you are.
Yeah.
That's true. That is so
That was-
true.
So, but to make a long story short, I think there's a real opportunity for us to to have more discussions among ourselves, because I think we can improve ourselves and our family and be better tomorrow than we were yesterday. Now, I go to church sometimes. I like going to church for all that. There ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, you've even been a deacon, you know, okay? But the point I'm making is that some things make a lot of sense, but it takes a long time for it to seep in and understand what it really is all about. Nobody gets out of here alive. Everything is generational. Don't try to reinvent the wheel like beauty care. It builds on it. You know, it wasn't always natural hair. There was another kind of hair before that, and another kind of hair before that. And then it's progressive. Life is progressive and generational. And the other thing is respect, first for yourself, and then for the people you care about. That's something that we as brothers and sisters too. Self-respect is everything. If you get up in the morning and you feel good about yourself, you got a chance.
That's right. And that's the key. Respect for each other, man, is the main thing. And I've learned that if you don't respect your spouse or significant other, or even your girlfriend or somebody then something's wrong. That's you're gonna never be together like that if you don't have respect for each other. And conversating, I had to learn that because I was a person with, I didn't have a lot of conversation with my wife, but because every time if something went down and she wanted to talk about it, I tried to, and I tried to take care of it right then. I felt like once I took care of it, it's over with. But she needed to bring it all out. And even with my sons, when they talk to me, sometimes, Dad, can I finish? Can I finish? Just let me, because they have to express themselves,
Exactly.
And I'm gonna say this and then, I'm gonna go off. But, even with our sons, or children, you think you're the parent, and as they get older, you are the parent, but you need to listen to your kids and have that conversation and listen. Don't always try to be that, this is it and nothing else. Exactly. It's not, it doesn't work, especially now, especially this day and time. You have to listen to what because they want to express, they want to show you as a parent that, there's certain things they want to bring, they want you to know that they understand, but you need to listen. They want you to listen.
There's another good reason to listen. Often they know more about it than you do.
True. That's true. There's some things, right. That's right. That's right. I don't know everything. And I tell, I learned that even, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, but my son and I, my oldest son and I, he's 36 now, but we used to clash with music, and my wife, and she'll probably be laughing, but we used to crash because I'm trying to prove to him that I know certain things. I come from the old school and blah, blah, blah. Well, he's coming up in this generation where things have changed, so, they're very, very detail oriented now, they say certain things and then, and I'm not understanding, but as a man, I'm trying, or as a father, I'm trying to say, you don't know what you're talking about, but I've learned, so.
This has really been amazing. This is truly
they say
amazing.
That the more things change, the more they are the same.
Hey, Dr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Moore, looked like somebody had their hand raised. I believe it Frederick Ramirez. I don't know.
Yes,
Okay.
Frederick's hand is up. Actually, Frederick was to be on this panel. He's going to join us on the panel today. Yes, so we'll catch him the next time, maybe when we have our podcast, and invite you all back, that he'll be able to join us at that time. Hi, Frederick.
Hi, Frederick.
You have a question? Yeah, comment? You're on mute. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Hello?
Now we can hear you.
There you go,
Yes.
Oh, hi. How's everyone?
We're great. How are you? Good.
Kings and queens, how are y'all? Blessings to everyone. I'm sorry I'm late because the link, I didn't get the link. I couldn't find it. And then they sent it to me through text message. So sorry. I want to apologize for being late, but I was listening and it seems to be very interesting what you guys are talking about, along with different ways of communicating with your significant other. So I've experienced that as well. And just to piggyback on it real quick, I feel like my brother, I want to make sure I get his name right, Mr. Robin, Mr. Williams, Senior.
It's
When
rather
he
absurd.
speaks to his wife, he would like to. Once it's spoken about, it should be over with.
Right.
I shouldn't be bringing it up or talking about it later. But I'm one that feels like, well, if we have an issue and it's right there and then we know it's an issue, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's communicate, because we don't need to let 2-3 days go by and now you want to talk about it. No, because it's more energy built up, and us as men, I'm sorry to say, sometimes when it's an issue, if it's not talked about, then we like, all right, she must don't want to talk about it. All right, I'm gonna forget about it.
Yeah, that goes
3 days later, y'all like, oh yeah, remember the other day when you like, that was 3 days ago. Why we didn't talk about it then? We already passed that.
Okay.
I know the answer.
Dr. Karen has her hand up.
She
Go
literally
ahead,
has
Dr.
her hand
Karen.
raised. She
Go
literally
ahead,
has
where's
her
the
hand
hand raised? Dr. Karen, go
She
ahead.
put her hand up this time. It wasn't an emoji. She put her hand up. She said, listen,
Put her
my
hand
brother.
up. She is the
That was a real
emoji
hand.
right now. She is the emoji. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Dr. Karen.
My husband is shaking his head because he knows. Because, and you're right, Frederick, you are right. But I know that I have found for myself that as I learned about how I deal with things, that sometimes I need a couple of days to come to you the right way.
You're right. I've had a conversation with someone. It was like, some people are not like that. They need those few days, because if they're upset in that moment, y'all can't get what's going on. Y'all can't communicate, because it's going to be more arguing and clashing than actually getting the problem solved. So I understand that part too.
Sometimes my
It was
wife will
hard.
sit
It
down
was
for a
tough for
whole
my
week.
husband. It was tough for my husband because, like you said, why didn't you tell me about this? But see, I knew if I had said something 2 days ago, you would have seen a Karen that you're not used to seeing.
Right.
And that, there could have been some things.
That.
And, we always want to be careful because you can't take words back.
Oh,
right.
Once you say those things, you cannot take them back.
That is
Right,
true.
So sometimes,
It's
you've
true.
got to be able to decompress and to say, okay, how do I need to approach this? Because if I say what I want to say right now, I'm going to say some things that really are not going to be helpful for this relationship.
Respond now.
Because when you're angry, sometimes that anger, it takes a couple. Now I've gotten better because it used to be a week.
I told her, I said, you got to come
my
back.
husband
You
used to
gotta
say
calm
to me,
down.
how long you going to be mad?
Right.
How long are you going to be mad?
I agree. Robin said he's a Taurus. Well, I'm a Taurus too. I'm the female Taurus, right? And so, I got horns. I know. I know. But here's the thing. I agree with Dr. Karen. It's best for me if I just walk away at that time. I'm not going to say anything, because Taurans, we're analyzers. We have to process and think about it and get it together before we come back. Because if I don't do that, then you're going to see this and it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, and I'm an Aries, the other horn. I'm an Aries.
The other horn, right? And so these horns are,
the head.
yes, these horns are too much. But really, I like to take a step back, process, analyze, then I can come back and talk to you in a way that you deserve to be talked to. Maybe what you said to me was uncalled for, but I'm going to always come back with the high road, right? You can, it's my turn to respond. We can have that conversation. But when we walk away from that, please don't ever bring it up to me again. I don't want you coming back 3 days later trying to get me to change my mind or do any of that. When I'm done, I'm done. Now let's move on. So I agree.
Yeah, that's just like telling somebody to forgive them and then telling them to say that I'm about it later.
I got something to say, and everybody remember this. Everybody remember this. When emotions are high, intelligence is low.
Amen.
Amen. Now that's wisdom. That's wisdom. Yes, Miss
Yes.
Nancy, that's wisdom.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very much true.
Amen.
Because we say things that we regret, and then when we realize we said it, it's already too
Mhm.
late. And like you said, you can't take it back.
You're right.
You already said it out your mouth.
That's
And
right.
I had to learn that because I have a very sharp tongue. I had to learn
Mhm.
because I would chew you up and spit you out. I know you don't believe that with this beautiful, wonderful.
Right. I'm
fine
like,
face.
she looks so, she like
I
so
never had-
heard a fly.
I never
Chew
had
you
that
up and
problem.
spit you
I
out.
ain't had that problem. I ain't never had that problem. I don't do, you know.
I don't want that.
So I had to learn. And the
Right.
best
And
I
then-
learned to walk away and come back.
Cause and
You
guess
said
what, Dr.
sometimes you
Johnson?
gotta woosah, and then you gotta gather yourself, and then
Right.
deal with it.
That's it.
'Cause I told my wife from day one when we got married, I said, if we have an argument, I'm not going on no couch or going in a room. You sleeping in the same bed, I'm sleeping in the same bed too. I need to be comfortable. And
He
man,
said you
gonna
just
be
have
mad.
to
You
be
can
mad.
you can make your barrier, you can split the covers, but I'm getting in this
Exactly.
bed.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
You can split the sheets. I don't care, put a pillow in between us. I'm getting in this bed.
Give me my
Right. And the
But-
next thing I know, she touching me and I'm touching her. You know, she's still
Right.
mad, but you know,
You can't go to bed you can't go to
Right.
bed mad at each other. It's
No,
it's not healthy. It's not. Right.
Wow.
it's not.
Wow.
Brother Williams is big on that touching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
well,
notice that. You notice that too, Mr. Jones. You notice that, Mr. Jones.
I
He
noticed
I
that
need
too.
love. I need
Say it
love.
again.
You know,
What did
I
you
need
say?
love. Now.
All right, Big Daddy.
So this is a great conversation that you all are having,
Yes.
and this is,
Very
I mean,
so,
we
very
we could continue on. We
We
definitely
could.
have to have,
Bring
we
us
have
home,
to
Daddy.
have a whole nother, just,
Yes.
you guys, like, you have to have your own day. We just need to
Yes.
have,
I'm
what do you
upset that I
really
came
think?
in late.
Right? We have
I'm
to say,
upset
what
I
do
came in
you really think? That's okay, Mr. Ramirez, you'll be with us the next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure will,
Please, yes,
definitely.
But
yes.
they definitely have to have their own day. We had so many great comments in the chat, so make sure we look at that. We had some more questions that were coming up. So this conversation is definitely not over, but we are going to continue on, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, go right ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We want to
Love
thank you,
y'all.
gentlemen, so
Thank
much
you.
for being here
Thank you
today
for having me.
and
Thank you.
for
I-
letting us know that you have opinions and we want to hear them. We do. And we are so grateful for you being here today for this International I Am the Color of Beautiful Day. We are so grateful for you being here and for being open and talking with us today. Thank you so much.
Wonderfully made, the color of beautiful, beautiful. God made me beautiful. Yeah, I am so beautiful. When you look at me, what do you see? The color of beautiful. So beautiful. When you walk my way, what do you say? The color of beautiful. God made me beautiful. So beautiful. My dark skin, my full lips, my brown eyes, my round hips, beautiful, beautiful, yeah. Ebony, mahogany, sun-kissed, just look at me. I am so beautiful.
You're what a beauty to behold, you're a natural queen. Pretty dark and lovely with a glowy skin. Definitely you are credit to the whole black race. What a strong black